Hello, my friend. Alicia Lynn Diaz here, creator of the Enlightened Body System and the Soul of Healing Summit. And in my transformational healing work, where I combine the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medical tradition, with modern science and emotional mental healing, I'm really excited. That intersection is at its finest right now in the springtime. So if you're watching this and you live in the Northern Hemisphere and you are hearing the birds singing and seeing all the new flowers that start to bloom, well then you are in the perfect season for a mind-body detox. And the reason I say mind-body detox, and the reason why we're talking about detoxing emotions today, is because your mind and your emotions have a very strong influence on your physical health and well-being. Just think about it. If you were about to be, about to eat a meal, or you were hungry and you get a call and it's bad news and you instantly lose your appetite, right? Or that is your mind affecting, and emotions affecting your physiology instantly. Hi, Nathan. And when you go to bed at night, if you can't fall asleep because your mind is, swirling with all the things you have to do the next day or the things that you're worried about, that's your mind affecting your physiology instantly. So in subtle ways, as time goes on, if we're not constantly detoxing, releasing the negative emotions and fears inside of our mind, or the angers and the resentments and all of those things, it clogs the channels of the body, just like physical toxins would if you're eating pesticide-laden foods, for example, right? And so we are not just what we eat, right? Well, we are what we eat, but we are what we digest. And even if you're eating the most perfect, pristine foods, organic everything, if your emotional bandwidth is taxed, it's impacting your digestion, and you're not able to digest, absorb, and assimilate the nutrients from those foods to derive energy and health and well-being. So this next Wednesday, 1 week from today, I'm doing a free masterclass, Spring Detox Masterclass, where we're going to deep dive together in a live setting on a Zoom conference online. So you can do this in the comfort of your own home, but we're going to sit down together and we're going to go through all the mind-body detox tips from a physical standpoint, from Ayurveda, and also from an emotional standpoint. So if you want to join me for that free masterclass, it's happening next Wednesday. Just go to alicialyndiaz.com/spring detox and join me, and we'll do a deep dive together. Here's the link. So register for that class. If you can't even be there live because you're in a different time zone or that time doesn't work for you, as long as you're registered, you'll get the recording for the class. But please do join me for that. And then today, I want to give you, in this video, 3 simple things that you can get started with right away to help detox your emotions. Are you ready for that? Okay. So the very first thing that you need to consider if you want to help seasonally or just all year round, anytime really. I get excited because the spring and the transitional seasons are really good for detoxing, but truly these 3 things I'm going to share with you right now can be used any time of year, and quite honestly should be used on a regular, ongoing basis as part of your own daily self-care rituals. So the first thing is, in order to effectively detox emotions, you have to create safety in your nervous system. So your nervous system is the really subtle body tissue that is the interface between your mind and emotions and your physiology. And as the examples I gave earlier, as soon as you have a thought, wherever your focus and attention goes, your physiology follows. So if you're having any of your tens of thousands of thoughts that the human brain has a day, there are 2 kinds of thoughts. There's thoughts that are constructive, that are lifting you up, that are bringing you health and revitalizing you and giving you energy and making you feel good. And then there are those thoughts that are destructive, that are bringing you down, that are making you feel negative, that make you feel bad about yourself, that make you compare yourself to others and feel less than constantly. And this is part of the human condition. So because it's a part of our innate human condition, we can be angry that we're human, or we could just accept the fact that we have these faculties of our mind and we get to choose. So we get to choose the constructive thoughts or the destructive thoughts. Where this comes into play in your nervous system is when you have a constructive thought, your neurochemistry starts to release these chemicals in your blood and they make you feel good. They make you feel, oh, this feels true, this feels buoyant, this feels light. When it's a destructive thought, it feels heavy, it feels exhausting, it feels bad, right? It feels constricting. Now, even your physiology, when you do these kinds of movements with your body, makes you feel constructive or destructive, right? Hunched, and, you know, we all know the universal body language being communicated when someone is slumped and they won't make eye contact with you, versus when someone's heart is open and they're smiling, right? There are very intricately woven connections in your whole physiology mixed with your nervous system. And in order to effectively detox the destructive emotions and the negative thoughts and feelings, well, we need to create a sense of safety in the nervous system. And now your nervous system has millions and millions of nerve endings all on your skin. Your skin is the interface between you and the external environment. And so one of the things that ancient Ayurvedic wisdom teaches us is how to balance the nervous system and create a deep sense of safety. Now, there's many different practices that I teach in the Enlightened Body System how to do this. There's many practices, more practices that I'll share in the free masterclass next week, the Spring Detox. You can click the link in the comments below. It's just alicialyndiaz.com/spring detox and join me for that class. But one of them that I will give you today, right now, is this practice called self-oil massage. And I'm going to link so you can watch a video on exactly how to do the self-oil massage. But this is a practice, and you can read all about it and learn all the physical and emotional health benefits. But this is a practice that helps create a deep sense of safety in the nervous system because you're putting oil on the skin and it infuses these qualities of safety right into your nerve endings, right into your nervous system, and creates deep calm and peace. And even if you don't have time to do the whole self-oil massage, you can oil your ears, your hands, your feet, and kind of all the points on your hands and feet and your ears are a map of your nervous system as a whole. So that's another option. So enjoy that practice. And like I said, we'll be diving into more of those practices next week in the masterclass. But for today, practice number 2 is radical self-honesty. So one of the things that happens when we want to detox emotions, but we are in denial that we're having the emotions. So denial of the emotions is a repression of the emotions. It's like, oh, I know, my higher mind knows I shouldn't feel that way. It knows that I should forgive this person for hurting me, for example. So you kind of block that off and create a little fragment in your psyche that says, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. I just want to forgive them. I want to forgive and forget. But emotionally, you still have anger or resentment or sadness towards that person, for example. So radical self-honesty, this step would just be, I admit that I still feel like this aspect of my mind or this aspect of my body is still reacting a certain way about this situation, which actually brings in step 3, because step 2 and step 3 in today's list go together. So self-honesty, radical self-honesty, and radical self-compassion. These two go together. So when we are honest with ourselves, not in denial that we feel a certain way, then we also feel our nervous system feels safe enough to be with us, because we're not constantly telling ourselves that we're wrong, we shouldn't feel a certain way. So we're honest with ourselves. Oh, I still have grief around that situation. I still have anger. What's under the anger? When you give yourself permission, when you're honest, you give yourself permission to actually give yourself the healing, which is radical self-acceptance and self-compassion. Oh, okay, the truth is there's a part of me that still feels angry. Okay, I'm going to allow myself, I'm going to give myself permission to feel the anger, not because I need to indulge the anger, not because I want to feed the anger, but because I want to be honest with myself and release the anger. So what's under the anger? After you feel the anger, a wave of anger passes, you give it back to the universe. And then underneath that, what's the next emotion? If I'm honest with myself, I actually just feel really sad that that person betrayed me, that person hurt me. And then again, you give yourself permission. You're having compassion for that emotion that you're feeling. And then you say, I offer this sadness back to the universe. I give this back. This isn't mine. And then you take a deep breath. And on the other side of you, just acknowledging with honesty what the emotion was and having compassion, it actually feeds this as well, creates more safety in your nervous system. And so this as a daily practice, yes, as a spring detox practice is very powerful, but this as a moment-to-moment mindfulness practice where you continue to create safety in your nervous system, safe relationship between you and your body, because your body, if you're trying to heal and create more energy, your body needs to trust you. And if you've been experiencing pain and discomfort for a while, you might not trust your body, right? So what needs to shift there is you need to break that cycle and create a sense of safety in the relationship between you and your body. You can do the self-oil massage as one step. But ultimately, when it comes to fully detoxing the emotions, and actually the oil massage is, oil in Ayurveda is actually a detoxing, cleansing substance. There's oil that you drink, there's oil that you put in enemas, there's oil that you put in your ears, that you gargle in your mouth, there's oil that you put all over your body. And what it actually does is the oil helps dissolve not just the physical toxins, because most physical toxins are actually are fat soluble. They're stored fat soluble molecules in your body. So it helps dissolve the physical toxins from the environment, but it also helps dissolve the emotional toxins that have built up in the tissues, and helps you release them with ease and grace. And so that it's not this, big, sometimes it's a cathartic experience, but it doesn't have to be a healing crisis, which sometimes it can be. And it just supports the natural unfolding of detoxing the emotions that are holding you back, having moment-to-moment compassion, self-honesty, and creating safety between you and your body. So I do hope that this was supportive for you today. If you're looking to create thriving health and live your most energized, enthusiastic existence, these principles will help you with that. And please do join the Spring Detox next week. Next Wednesday, the free masterclass can be found at alicialyndiaz.com/spring detox. So I hope to see you there, and lots of love to you today. I'll see you soon.